Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. We're offended, you're offended. I'm Kym, and you all know Tyler. Say hi, Tyler.
Hello. I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Ooh, peanut butter and jelly. That sounds delicious.
Raspberry jelly.
Raspberry? That's not the jelly I gave you.
It's a jelly I bought, Mom.
Oh, what did you do with my blueberry? Or my grape?
It's here. Okay.
I love my grape. And where are you reporting from today?
Someplace in Montana.
Oh, wow.
You know. What?
Oh, I don't know. Well, when I talked to you this morning, you were, what, just leaving Alberta?
No, I left Manitoba this morning. And I made it all the way to Montana. So I don't waste time. Time is for losers.
Nice. That is true. However, that's crazy. It's so weird to think of, like, when I talk to you and you're in one place, and then all of a sudden I talk to you again, you're like in a whole new country. It's just so weird.
Yep. I went from communist Canada to almost communist America.
Sweet. Oh my God.
Well, have you seen some of the stuff that's going on in Canada and I don't know. You know, it's pretty screwed up. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear, but when I get pissed off, I start to swear.
So. Really? I don't even need to be pissed off to swear. I just swear a lot. I have more of a chucker mouth than you do. Go figure.
Yeah, I try not to. All right. Well, I guess before we get into this, we do have a sponsor today, surprisingly.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh.
And our sponsor is water. So, what the hell do they want me to say? Turns out 9 out of 10 doctors. Wait, no, that sounds like the air one. Those guys working together. I think maybe whatever. All right, 9 out of 10 doctors or people agree that water is good for you. Not as good as beer, but well, for me personally, it's beer or nothing. But it's.
I'm normally the whiskey girl, but yeah.
Yeah, so 9 out of 10 doctors agree that you should drink water at least once a week. At most 2 times a week to keep death away.
Okay.
You know how the saying goes, a water a week keep the doctors
bleak
away. Sure.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's really good to know.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank Water for sponsoring today's episode. As well, we do have a couple articles, and so there's one that I've been kind of following for a little while, and it kind of pisses me off. All right, this is supposed to be Casual Friday. I want to get this one out of the way, okay? Because the next one we got, there's some jungle love, so to speak, going on. So look forward to that.
Jungle love?
Yeah.
Where do we have jungle love coming on? Our next article?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not this one, the next one.
Okay. I can dig it.
Okay, so this came from, this first article comes from Lake Superior News. And it is titled, Ontario MPP, as a member of provincial parliament, Rick Nichols, speaks out on ejection from Ontario PC Party caucus. So I'm sure anyone that's been following this, Doug Ford gave the ultimatum to his not constituents. Well, I guess I guess kind of okay. He gave ultimatum to his constituents, like if you don't get vaccinated, you're a terrible human being, and you should also just stay at home and eat cheesecake.
Ooh, cheesecake. Do they supply the cheesecake?
No, you have to make it. So your
that's
non-job that you're not getting paid for. Yeah, go buy the stuff to make cheesecake. Okay. But it says August 26th is when this article is from. So it says Rick Nichols was kicked out of caucus for refusing to take the COVID vaccine last week. The Chatham-Kent Leamington MP, Rick Nichols, stood firm against taking the COVID-19 vaccination, and it was not a decision without consequence. Premier Doug Ford had issued an ultimatum. All his MPPs had to get jabbed. You know what? The more and more I hear that,
jabby.
The more I hear that, the more I understand it's like it's supposed to be a kind of like a lighthearted, trying to take the edge off of getting the vaccination.
Well, you mean from all the peer pressure, they're gonna that's everywhere. They're gonna use the word jab to lighten it up a little bit. Okay.
But that's what it seems like. Like people would say, "Oh, I'm getting a shot," or "I'm getting the shot," or whatever. I'm getting the vaccine. But it's kind of like, "Oh, I'm getting the jab. I'm getting stabbed." Like I know I used to say it, and like kind of the more and more, like it's become more and more prominent, and it's actually, it's like when you start saying something, and then everyone else starts saying it, it's like, shut up! Like I started that. Go away. Obviously, I didn't start. I'm sure I wasn't the first one to think of like getting jabbed or getting stabbed or whatever. But it's just become. It's more like, oh, it's just a jab. A little funny. But anyways, so anyone that didn't get the vaccine by 5 p.m. on last Thursday, or they would face expulsion from the caucus.
Can I interrupt? What is a caucus?
Caucus is like the assembly.
Oh, that's a strange word for that, but okay.
So let's look at the So a caucus would be, I guess, where like the members of parliament or the members of MPPs would meet. I guess like in I guess in like our legislative building. So the people that go into there, that would be considered the people would be considered the caucus. So those are the members of political parties. That would be the caucus.
Okay. Got it? I think so, yeah.
Okay. So precisely 1 hour before the deadline, Nichols, who was first elected in 2011, held a brief press conference at Queen's Park, noting that he was not going to acquiesce to the Premier's demand nor deadline. Nichols was quoted as saying, "I took the Premier at his word that vaccination is a choice, and that all Ontarians have a constitutional right to make a choice. Like almost 2 million eligible Ontarians, I chose to exercise this autonomy over my own body, while continuing to work hard for the people of Ontario." Nichols didn't take any questions. He explained that it was a matter of principle to not get jabbed again, to not get vaccinated as opposed to a religious or medical issue. He said that he will not be returning as an independent. And then, I guess just a couple little quips of Doug Ford saying, "My body, my choice," that kind of thing. And
it's a choice? Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure Mr. Nichols wouldn't agree that it's a choice.
Well, and there's quite a few other people with, like as I've said before, like the type of rhetoric that's kind of being pushed. And, maybe as this article quotes it, maybe his news slogan should be "Our way or the highway." It says, "How shameful that Mr. Nichols must now join a growing number of PC MPPs who have been given the boot merely for expressing a difference of opinion." And I know Derek Sloan was kicked out. He's an MP, like he's a federal MP. He's not a MPP. I believe he was from Ontario as well. But Derek Sloan, I know he was ejected. I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head that. Well, O'Toole kicked out Sloan because Sloan was saying, he's kind of gone down, a little hard fast or a little bit. It's not hard, but he's been a little more vocal in saying like, hey, like what's going on here, asking that kind of question. Should we really be giving these vaccinations to kids as like, an emergency use authorization? And I don't know if that's really a good thing, especially something that hasn't been tested. So
yeah.
And there was one picture that was pulled up that I had received. And this is from the Toronto Star. And this is when, like I said, a little while ago, like the rhetoric, the type of words, and it's just out in the open. And this Toronto Star article from August 26th says, if an unvaccinated person catches it from someone who is vaccinated, boo-hoo, too bad. I have no empathy left for the willfully unvaccinated. Let them die. I honestly don't care if they die from COVID, not even a little bit. Unvaccinated patients do not deserve ICU beds. And it carries on. And
yes. Now, you had sent me this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was just mind blown.
Right? So you sent me this, and I was like, no, there's no way that this is something that's real. This has to be one of those things that somebody had doctored and is just putting out there, and just to make a thing. But I happened to do digging after you had sent me that, and nay, it is 100% the article in the front page of that paper. So It took a lot of digging to actually be able to read this article. But with this is a lot of quotes, I guess, that are going on social media. Like if a person catches it from someone who's unvaccinated, boo-hoo, too bad. If you choose not to be, or if you choose to be unvaccinated, I don't care about you. And I guess there's so much that's been going on, like whether it's with people, even the medical industry, like there's one doctor that's quoted in here saying like in the beginning, he had a lot of empathy for people, and he would go home and he would be really upset and cry after seeing these people who had COVID being in the ICUs and stuff like that. And now he finds it hard to even have empathy, especially for people who are unvaccinated. With that too, somebody had made a good point in here. But the topic of vaccination has also become especially polarizing. The clinical pharmacist, Amani, had said, developing lung cancer after a lifetime of smoking or dying in a car accident after dangerous speeding are understood as consequences of unhealthy behavior, though the tragic outcomes are typically met with more empathy. So you have that. So people smoke, but there isn't a pro-smoking political group or a pro-smoking conspiracy theories like there is when it comes to COVID, which is a really good point.
Wait, hold on. Yes, sorry, say that again? There isn't a pro-smoking... Okay, so there isn't like a pro-smoking lobby.
Correct. There isn't a pro-smoking political group or a pro-smoking conspiracy theories like there are when it comes to COVID, like the vaccines and stuff like that. Like you have people who are walking around out there and it's like, oh, are you vaccinated? Oh, you're non-vaccinated, you anti-vaxxer. Like, and everybody has like this big hissy fit about it. And they're literally being treated like they have the plague. But then, you have people who are smokers. And when I was a smoker and I had people who were non-smokers, some people would kind of do that, make it look like that really annoying thing. And it's kind of like you roll your eyeballs and just kind of keep going. Where now it would be like the same as me going outside, lighting a cigarette, and all of a sudden being like verbally attacked and harassed by everybody, which is what people who aren't vaccinated are seeing. They're getting risk of losing their jobs. Like, it's starting to become mandatory in a lot of jobs that you have to have this vaccine. I'm not even sure about how the schools are going to be. Like, what if all of a sudden they decide, well, your kid has to be vaccinated before they can go to school?
Well, and I know in BC they're pushing that type of stuff. One thing that I found weird was for BC, they were pushing for non-essential services have to be vaccinated. So that seems a little weird. But when I seen this article, and I don't think I shared this with you. But this is obviously a bit of a oversimplification. But this seems to be like some kind of, these are some of the kind of hallmarks that are noted, and it's the image is titled, I'm sure anyone can look it up, and it's the 10 stages of genocide. And step one would be classification. People are divided into us and them. And this is why I say the rhetoric that is being spoken sounds very much like a certain country in a certain time period where they had a lot of us versus them rhetoric.
I wonder what you might be referring to.
Yeah, and then number 2 was symbolization. People are forced to identify themselves. So think, and like I said, kind of, and I don't say like, oh, because this is happening, it's going to happen. It's, this should always kind of be, I always try to do this stuff to try and provoke thought, not to provoke anger, but it's more just to get you thinking like, okay, yeah, that is a little weird.
Right.
So yeah, symbol, like identifying themselves. So there's stuff coming out of Australia where even in Canada, you have to show a QR code. You have to show on your phone whether you are or not. If not, okay, well then you're a second-class citizen. Okay, and then 3 was discrimination. People begin to face systemic discrimination. So this is a government is instituting policy and procedures that directly impact and violate other people's rights. So, like I said, I've said this before. They've taken your freedoms away, and then they give them back as privileges.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I guess you could, if you really want to find that comparison, you can. Number 5 is organization. The government creates special groups, police, or military to enforce the policies. I don't know. You could say that with the mandates and these forced vaccinations and that type of stuff.
What we were talking about on our last episode with the police that are literally ticketing people and stuff like that for not complying.
Yeah. So number 6, polarization. The government broadcasts propaganda to turn the populace against the group. Holy! What did we just pull up from the Toronto Star?
Right. I was just going to say that.
If unvaccinated people die.
Yeah.
Number 7, preparation. Official action to remove/relocate people begins. So you can think of, say, like, especially in Australia, where they've started, the hotels didn't work. So we need to create camps where these people can be sent off to. Camps, plural, not singular, plural. Number 8 is persecution. Beginning of murders, theft of property, trial, massacres. We're not there yet. I would say we're definitely not at 8. I'd say we're between maybe 6 and 7 in terms of the politicized narrative with this. Mm-hmm. Number 9, extermination. Wholesale extermination of the group. It is extermination and not murder because the people are not considered human. Oh, shit, I am so sorry. I missed number 4. So between number 3 being discrimination and number 5 being organization, number 4, dehumanization. People equated with animals, vermin, or diseases.
Nice. That's nice.
And then finally, number 10, denial. The government denies that it has committed any crime. So, and like I said, this is, I do this stuff to try and provoke a thought, to try and, get people thinking of, this is kind of the dangerous road that we potentially could go down. And in seeing with Mr. Nichols, and, this was his choice. For whatever reason it was, I don't care. Ultimately, I don't care. I don't care if someone gets it because they want to, cool. Or they don't get it because they don't want to, cool.
Well, it all goes back to exactly what you just said, is first Ford is saying, like, pro-choice. This doesn't sound like pro-choice whatsoever. This is do as I say.
Well, and you like I said, there's been a lot of polarization. If you don't get it, well, then you're a bad person. You're, as that Toronto Star article says, I don't care if they die. I have no empathy or sympathy for them. But that's the word, for them.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost unbelievable.
What I would like to know is if one of those people who feel so strongly that they would have zero empathy for anybody who didn't get vaccinated, if they got COVID, or if that person themselves, as was stated in the article as well, or if an unvaccinated happened to get COVID from somebody who was vaccinated, like they shouldn't be allowed in the hospitals and the ICUs, essentially saying that they just deserve to die because they are the most horrible person. But what I would really like to know is if one of those people who are touting all these things, if one of their family members, like their mother or their father or their brother or the sister, whatever, somebody that they're close to, decided not to get it because they just didn't want to get it, whether it was religious reasons or they just weren't comfortable, or maybe they just, whatever, but ended up getting COVID, how they would feel. If somebody at the front door at the hospital was like, were you vaccinated? Oh, nay, you can't come in here. Sorry. There's an alley around the corner you can go die in. Like,
I think a lot of it's because it's a faceless, like, I kind of, like, I wanted to start, like, the we're offended, you're offended, because I just wanted to shout out to the void. Just say, like, I guess people that do have these kind of concerns and the people that do feel isolated and they do see these things, but they don't want to speak out. You know what? You're not alone. Yeah. You're not alone for being concerned. And that's such a weird thing. For having a concern, and I'm not I've said it before. I've gotten vaccinated. I've taken it. I'm, and that was a choice that I made.
Well, and same here. I didn't want to. I still have concerns about it. I did make that choice, yes, but my concerns are valid. You can't tell me that how I feel or what I am worried about isn't valid. Oh, the government says take it, it's safe, then I should just bend over and take it up the tailpipe? No. You should always ask questions.
Well, ask your doctor. Ask your doctor. You still see, like I see ads for, you still have a chance to win the Manitoba vaccination lottery.
Oh my God, seriously? That's still going on? Well,
yeah. And like I said, for whatever Mr. Nichols' decision was, he's an older gentleman. He's not 20 years old. He's not 30 years old. But he is saying, for personal reasons, I cannot do this. And just leave it at that. And like that type of rhetoric of saying them, well, they're the reason. Oh, and now, no longer herd immunity is no longer possible. What do you mean? Remember they were saying it was like 50% herd immunity, 60%, and then they kept moving the goalpost higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
So, I would like I said, I like this to be at least to cause people to think and think critically, think for yourselves.
And to know that what you're thinking is okay. I mean, we live in a world right now where, honestly, like, we'd be ostracized even just saying half the stuff we do talk about and say, because people may think it. There's a lot of people we know that have the exact same viewpoints that we do, but they're too scared to say anything out loud because they don't want to be ostracized by their friends and family. They're too scared to have an opinion because you're not allowed to have an opinion anymore.
No, well, and people remember when Theresa Tam said, we need to stop wrong think. Literally, you're not allowed to think for yourself anymore. What? This is the same type of people that, like Theresa Tam. I'm sorry. I don't know where the fuck you've been for. I don't know, forever, however many years. But to say we need to stop wrong think, there was a certain book based on the year 1984. Well, it goes by the same name, 1984. The Ministry of Truth was doublespeak. Well, you can't have the wrong thoughts. You can't even have the freedom of thought anymore.
No.
How scary is that?
Very scary.
I just wanted to throw a little bit of light, like, good on him, good on Mr. Rick Nichols. Good on him for sticking to his guns, and if he feels it's not for him, and I'm sure he's probably just like everyone else is. They're not anti-vax. They're just asking, this is something new. Like, we've never experienced this type. Like, this is a novel virus. This is a novel vaccine.
Yeah, 100%.
This is something new.
Well, see, you have a lot of people who will make that argument, well, vaccines have been around for a long time. They made it the same way that they made other vaccines, but they didn't. A lot of the ways that they made these new vaccines are very different from the old ones. You have some of them that have the dead bacteria or the virus, thank you, in it. And then you have other ones that don't, but it mimics the same type of reaction in your body. That's completely new. We've never had anything like this before. And regardless, even if vaccines have been around for a long time and people have been making vaccines, this is still something that is new. People have a right to have a concern, and they have a right to ask questions.
Well, and when people make the comparison, oh, well, they did with smallpox, with measles, and yada yada. Yeah, but they also had years, decades of scientific data to at least make that decision. Like any types of new type of stuff, like any types of like vaccines or drugs, like they take years to get certified. And emergency use. Okay, so we're still in the process of we don't know what the long-term effects are, and now they're showing reports of breakthrough cases where people that get the vaccine can still transmit it. And I know we brought this up before, but these are things that are happening, and you need to have these types of discussions.
Well, absolutely. And a lot of people, they assume that somebody who, like the people who decide not to get the COVID vaccine or they're hesitant about getting it, as soon as they open their mouth and say something, right away they're like, oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. But no, that's not it in the slightest. Again, like you just stated, this is something new. all the other things, yes, they've been around for a long time. I'm not an anti-vaxxer in the slightest. But
Oh,
something
no,
new, you're allowed to be concerned.
like I'm actually quite pro science. I'm very, very pro science. But I'm not just gonna listen hook, line, and sinker that everything's true. Like, you got to do a bit of the sniff test.
I would think so. I think that's a smart way to do it.
Like if it doesn't seem right, like if you see, if you're at a restaurant and you're waiting in line and you have to wear a mask, but then when you sit down, you can take your mask off. Or you have this protest. Well, protests are, COVID doesn't attack this protest, but it attacks this protest.
I know, right?
Well, like at least if it, the line was the same, but dude, the line's one side for one group of ideologies, and what's one line for another.
It's so all over the place.
Well, and I'll bring up, the thing in Alberta. People were protesting Alberta lifting restrictions. But, that was okay. But on the other side of it, people that were protesting the lockdowns, they had cops out there, they were fining people. It's, and then you have, and I'll bring it up again with our own politicians saying, oh, we're all in this together. Well, not really. You the peasants, you shut up, you stay home, you do nothing.
Yeah.
But did you see that thing with Barack Obama and his birthday party?
No, I did not.
All right, this is gonna this. So Barack Obama invited 500 or 600 people to a birthday party for him.
It's recently?
Yeah, and
oh my god.
I think it was it Candace Owens was saying that she actually knew a couple people that were unvaccinated. And here, I'll just let you take a guess. You're not going to believe it. Do you know what their response was when they said, well, why would you have such a large gathering like this?
Because it's outside, I bet.
No, it was in a building.
Oh.
No, it was in a building.
Well, the response then was probably everybody's been vaccinated, which clearly isn't the case.
I'm going to try and... I want to see the exact wording. So this was from Breitbart. Obama's party is low coronavirus for the sophisticated and vaccinated crowd. They literally said because they're sophisticated.
I'm sorry, what? What does that have to do with anything? Huh?
Yep.
Carney
said that Obama's large party during they're following all the safety precautions. People are going to sporting events that are bigger than this. This is going to be safe. This is a sophisticated, vaccinated crowd. And this is just about optics. It's not about safety.
Oh, okay. So sophisticated. I had no idea that the coronavirus only picked on people who were non-sophisticated.
Yeah, like that is like such a slap in the face of, listen here, peasants. Let the elites, let the upper class go do what we want. You shut up and stay home.
This is when I need one of those I don't know what the hell you call them, those button pushers where voice things come on and you have Will Smith come in and oh hell no. That's what we need right now. 100%. Macro, yeah, that's what it's called.
Glenn Greenwald says, what happened to all the concerns about vaccinated people passing Delta to the unvaccinated? Of course, viruses don't attack sophisticated people.
Well, and not only that, I mean, hello, according to the Toronto Star, who gives a fuck about those people, right? Well, I can't say according to the Toronto Star. That's misquoting the people who they're talking about. You have so many people who's like, whatever, it's their problem. If they're going to go and do this and they get sick and die, oh well. Like, I
Well,
mean, sophisticated, so it's all good. They're not going to get it anyway.
yeah, so I guess from Jack Posobiec, he's quite a prominent figure. Yeah, Obama just had tons of people at his party, maskless, no vax mandate, and they are laughing at you. So and I don't think he shouldn't have it. Like, go have a party. He's having a good time. Good for him. But then don't turn around with all these political, people and say, "Oh, but no, you can't do that." BC is, mandating masks again.
I
I think
heard about
Ontario's
that,
looking at doing the same thing.
which is funny. Like, they had no masks like longer than we did. And then finally Manitoba eased up on it. And now, I mean, there's still a lot of places you still need to wear your mask, whatever. But I mean, they're more lenient with it now. People aren't going to look at you like you have the plague if you walk in someplace without a mask. But now that we're finally easing up, now BC and Toronto are starting to, I think we got to put the masks back on.
Well, and there's there's a big concern, especially in the States. Like, there is no. So I know in the U.S. they have the, what is it called? Americans with a Disability Act, and we have something similar.
Okay, sounds familiar. Or isn't ours just like Canadian disability?
Yeah, the Accessibility Act. So I'm wondering, because now they're starting to push for businesses to do this type of stuff. They're pushing businesses, like, especially in the States, like, it's just a blanket statement of, you are either vaccinated or you're fired. And that's being pushed in certain businesses. If you are unvaccinated, you cannot work, period.
Yeah.
Or you cannot work here, period.
Yeah.
So, what about in Canada? So the purpose of the Accessible Canada Act is to make Canada barrier-free for January 1. This involves identifying, or January 1, 2040. Okay. This involves
2040.
identifying, removing, and preventing barriers in federal jurisdiction in the following priorities areas: employment, the environment, information and communication technologies, communication other than communication technologies, the procurement of goods, services, and facilities. Yeah. I don't know. It's really, like, that is dangerous. I don't think any government should be doing that type of stuff.
No.
But let's change gears. Global news.
Hold
Claims what?
Hold on, I wasn't done yet. The funny thing is, in that article of Toronto Star, if you could actually see the photo that they have for this article, it's literally like, it looks like a giant, almost like the MTS Center. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of tables set up, and there's people giving people vaccines. This place is crowded. Like, just in this photo, I can see like 100 people. And that's only in the photo, which is funny, There was a couple other quotes that I just wanted to read quickly that were in this article that I think were good. One was, "You can't help people if you really don't understand what they're thinking or where they're coming from," Imani said. "I added most of the people he ends up interacting with aren't such anti-vaxxers, but rather victims of misinformation and systemic barriers, like not having access to family doctor or the answers to the questions for safety of the vaccine. What I try to focus on is the systemic, I can't say that, barriers, and that got them into this position, which I think are a lot more common than people think. Ultimately, bridging the gap between the unvaccinated is important to the society. It's a no man's land where we're not separated from people who choose not to get vaccinated. Our lack of empathy is not going to be very effective. If we do have empathy, the purpose of it is not to change them, it's to understand them. And 100% I agree with that last quote. Like,
Yeah,
beyond.
I'm sure and that's mostly what people's questions are, is I don't understand.
Yes.
And you know what? Maybe I don't. Like, I would love to have a doctor, someone come in and a medical expert and say, well, no, this is why this doesn't work. This is why this doesn't work. And actually, like, I would ask the question, what is how is hydroxychloroquine going? Like, have you looked at any of the other studies? Like, I know there's stuff coming out of Argentina. There's many doctors that have been saying, like, this isn't a cure. It's not a cure. You talk to your doctor about this stuff. But they said that it's helped lower the severity of the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to like, because I hear doctors saying that. And then you hear doctors saying the total opposite. So, you know, which doctor do you believe? The one that, you know, is saying, hey, these are possible alternatives? Or you listen to one that say, no, vaccines are absolutely terrible. They're going to kill everyone. Or you listen to the ones that say, there's nothing that's going to help you. You have to take this. Which path do you go down? You have three choices.
See, and that's exactly where you get a lot of misinformation from too, because you have a bunch of professionals that are telling you completely different things. How is that not confusing for somebody?
Like, I'm not a medical expert. Like, if someone wants to ask me about the transportation industry, hey, you know what? I got a pretty good understanding of it. I don't know absolutely everything, but I have a pretty good idea of how to operate a 100,000-pound piece of steel and plastic. You know, like, I could at least steer you in the right direction. But in absolute particulars, say, like, hauling over dimensional loads. Okay, well, I don't. That's not my field of expertise. But I could give you at least a general understanding, or at least a more. I'd be more informed in, say, over dimensional loads than someone that's never been in a truck and has no idea what it, even how to operate it. And that's kind of the same thing. Is when you have people approaching you and just say, oh, well, why don't you just get it? What are you, stupid? What are you, selfish? No, I would like to understand. Why has it become such a bad thing to say what or why? When does why become bad?
Because it's taken as being insubordinate or non-compliant, which is very sad. And I think that's something that everybody needs to learn and to do, whether it's just in relationships, whether it's in like other things, work, whatever. If there's somebody that you don't agree with or that isn't agreeing with you or saying something that you don't understand, try to understand them. Understand why they're having these thoughts. Understand where their background, how they're coming to this conclusion. Try to actually understand them, because just listening to them doesn't do anything. You have to put yourself in somebody else's position and try to actually understand where they're coming from.
Yeah. Like, I spoke with my doctor and I asked him those questions, and his response was, none of it helps. Okay. Like
awesome.
Like ivermectin had showed no signs of improvement. Hydroxychloroquine or vitamin D, vitamin C, and I'm not saying these are cures. That's the thing. I'm not looking for a silver bullet, but at least we know, like, ivermectin has it's like, it's safe. It's safe to use, generally speaking, outside of this vaccine thing. But it's when you can't even ask the question, and people just say, oh, well, you're just anti-vax. No. In fact, I was delivering during H1N1. I was delivering H1N1 kits. So I was actually distributing them to reservations all over Manitoba.
See, and it's funny. That was actually one of my huge deciding factors, because when H1N1 came out, I got it and I got very, very, very sick. And I was very sick for about 3 months. And that was kind of where part of my deciding factor came with getting this vaccine because I refused to get the other one because it was too new and I was scared about it. But, I'm like, I looked at how sick I got. And I'm like, if I got that sick from H1N1 and people are saying that COVID's worse than H1N1, maybe I should suck it up and just get it.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's when you can't, when people just, but it's so easy. Oh, you're anti-vax. Like, I know initially I had my mom brought up, oh, what are you, a COVID-idiot? I'm like, what the fuck? My mom is saying this? Like,
Oh, I remember when you told me that. I was like, what?
I'm like, are you serious? Because I'm asking? Like, I've said before, I'm generally a curious person. I want to know why. What makes the shit tick? How's the sausage made? That's what I want to see. I want to see how is it actually done.
Yep, me too.
But
which I think is why we get along so well, because we both ask a shit ton of questions, and between the two of us, we'll know everything. All right, so yes, enough about all this garbage. Let's move on to something lighter.
Yeah, I just think you know what, Mr. Nichols, I support your choice, your individual choice. So, good on you. But okay, let's totally switch gears. So this was from Global News. All right, get ready to clip this one. Woman claims affair with chimpanzee after zoo bars her from contact. A Belgian zoo has asked a woman to stop visiting the chimpanzee with whom she claims to be in love with because she's making it hard for him to fit in with his own kind. The Antwerp Zoo says it asked Addie Timmermans to stop her weekly visits to its chimpanzee enclosure, where she claims she has been carrying on a relationship with an ape named Cheetah for the last 4 years. The decision drove Timmermans to share her own emotional account of the situation. I love that animal, and he loves me, she told a local broadcasting station. We're having an affair, I'll just say. Their so-called relationship consists of spending time on opposite sides of the enclosure glass where they gesture and kiss at each other on a regular basis. Okay.
This isn't real, is it? Like, this has to be, like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, this has to, like, it says inquire somewhere, right? Like, this can't, seriously?
When Cheetah is consistently surrounded by visitors, the other animals ignore him and don't consider him part of the group, said Sarah Lafaute. Oh, bad with names, I'm sorry. An animal that is too confused on people is less respected by its peers. We want Cheetah to be a chimpanzee as much as possible. Yeah. Jeez.
39-year-old chimpanzee has been at the zoo for about 3 decades, so then I don't understand what this lady just started coming around all of a sudden like 4 years ago, and
just something about that. That's you think he has a big dick? Do monkeys have big dicks?
I don't even know. Oh wow! Actually, one of the pictures in here, you can kind of see a little nub. Why is this picture here?
Like, is he? Oh yeah!
I know, like it just like out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh damn. But oh, that poor chimpanzee. Why are people so weird? Like, I feel like this woman clearly must have some sort of mental illness or something. I just you can't.
So this kind of sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Oh God, what kind of a rabbit hole did this bring you down?
So a vervet monkey. Take a look up monkey.
Okay, hold on. What am I looking at?
Hold on, I'm sending it to you. I'm sending it.
Oh God.
Oh my God. So I don't. Yeah. I guess I don't know. Maybe she just seen a connection with this guy.
Oh my god.
They're so blue. It reminds me of.
It reminds me of Kool-Aid.
Gummies? But what were like those gummies? Remember those gummies that they're like soft, like they're soft and chewy, and they're like coated with
Please
sugar.
don't say that when I'm looking at a picture.
Doesn't it?
Oh my god. I'm not sure the gummies you're referring to, but it 100% is the same color as blue raspberry Kool-Aid. Like that. Oh my god. Those are...
What are those things called? They're like those worms, you know? Remember like those, like, they're not like the hard gummy worms, but they're like...
Oh, okay, yes. I know what you're talking about now. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie though, they're so pretty. Like, why don't human ones look like that?
It's so weird. It's like it's red and blue. Like it's actually a cool it's actually a cool color.
Why don't you explain to the people what we're talking about here, because I can't. A
vervet monkey's junk. It's like it looks like one of those fuzzy worm candies. It honestly looks like if you bit it, it was going to be like electric blue raspberry.
Yeah, it's really disturbing.
Sour bright crawlers? Is that? I think that. Yeah, I think I found the candy.
I love that you're looking at the candy that resembles that. Oh my god!
Oh, there's a gummy worm flavored vape juice.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
see,
what kind of weird ass face is that?
See, at least the dude has like a I don't know, like it's a cute monkey.
It really
like
is.
Vervet monkeys.
Yeah,
they're super cute.
They really are, and I'm not I'm not huge into monkeys. Sorry, lady, in the other freaking article, but no, but this one is super cute, actually.
I don't wonder if there's like some type of condition where people are just so into I can't, what kind of monkey is that?
It's just a red monkey, but that's the weirdest looking face, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. But here's another one. I'm sure you remember this story. A woman married the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, right. I do remember that, and I was like, "This is a joke, right?"
This is all documentary crap. I just want an article. Oh. Woman who married the Eiffel Tower wants to set the record straight about her sexuality. Ridiculed and rejected, the woman who married the Eiffel Tower explains what it means to live with objectum sexuality after many people fail to understand what it means.
I'm trying to look for something hard to bash my head into right now.
Well, you better not take it out on her husband.
No, really. This is the world we have right now, right? Okay.
Never. I don't.
This mug I have here. This mug is really awesome. It keeps my drinks, my whiskey and Pepsi, really cold for hours. I am in love with it, actually. Tyler, I think I'm gonna leave you and marry this frickin' cup here.
See ya. I'm gonna go find me a husband. I didn't realize I was different until my teens when others started dating each other and I had deep feelings for a local bridge. That two-timing whore.
This is
She cheated on the bridge with the Eiffel Tower. Of course she'd go after the Eiffel Tower.
So big.
You don't go for the, you don't settle for a shitty bridge.
Oh my God.
I have always maintained good friendships with people and been very social, but I have never felt drawn towards any romantic relationship. Despite early attempts to date due to the pressure to conform, it never worked. It felt very alien to me.
Maybe you're just meant to be like a nun or something. Like, can somebody please explain to me, like, how did they consummate their marriage? That's what I would really like to know. And did anyone, because she actually married it, was everyone able just to, like, just let it happen? I mean, it's her husband, and it doesn't matter if it's in public or in front of children.
What happens? Well, I guess the top of the Eiffel Tower does have like a rod at the top, so
I'd like to see her get on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you ever see like those videos of like a chick like riding like a bedpost? It's something like that.
Oh no, that definitely is not one of the videos in my favorites. Okay, is this like, honestly, like, do people like this really exist? Or is this just another, I'm a special snowflake, I want attention, look at me, I'm going to come up with the most absurd thing I can think of so, I can get attention? This is insane. Like, this can't be real.
Objectum sexual. Yeah. Linked to autism and synesthesia.
Sure.
Sexual orientation, which has received little attention in the academic literature. Our results suggest that OS may encapsulate autism and synesthesia within its phenome. Oh God, why do you got to use big words like this? Our data speak to debates concerning the biological underpinnings of sexuality. To what? I can't even read this. This is from PubMed. Okay, hold on. I'm going to try this. I'm going to read it in its entirety. No, not trying to correct. Our data speak to debates concerning the biological underpinnings of sexuality, to models of autism and whatever, and to psychological and philosophical models of romantic love. What? Okay, well, how often? Okay, we tested 34 objectum sexuality individuals.
They found that many?
Controls.
Holy fuck.
Apparently. The first empirical evidence that OS is linked to two separate neurodevelopmental traits, autism and synesthesia. Significantly higher rates of stronger autistic traits compared to controls, as well as significantly higher prevalence of synesthesia and significant synesthesic traits inherent in the nature of their attractions. I guess it is like, in some people with autism, like they're like super hyper focused on stuff. Like that's why they make like really good like engineers, or like they're very task oriented. Because if you just you send them like, hey, I need this spreadsheet done, and they just go and they don't stop. Like it's actually quite admirable that, like, because I get bored and all of a sudden I'm looking at stuff on like Reddit or whatever. So I don't know, maybe it's just that type of thing. It's just, maybe it's like the beauty of the like construction. Maybe it's like, how every guy sees a car and it's like, oh, if that
guy.
What?
And not just guys. I'm like doing inappropriate things with it in my head too.
What, the Eiffel Tower or bridges?
Muscle cars.
Oh. But there's this, yeah. But I don't think every guy's like, actually,
I mean, I can understand the marveling at the beauty of something and just the engineering of it, whatever, construction of it, whatever the heck you want to call it. But I can get that. I've seen things that I've looked at. And it's literally taken my breath away, and it's been like, wow, as if somebody built that. Where did they come up with that design? Like, it's absolutely amazing, but it doesn't get me hot. I don't get it. Oh yeah, see, there we go. There we go.
So,
oh my God, I heard about this.
So this was from Vice. I don't know. I don't know. Take Vice what you will. But Kansas man wouldn't stop fucking a car until he was tased. In the year 2018, in the land of the free and home of the brave, it's simply not possible to fuck a car in peace without having someone call the cops on you. Ryan Malik, a 23-year-old Kansas man, was charged Wednesday with lewd and lascivious behavior. His crime, trying to put his dick in the tailpipe of a car in public. According to court documents obtained by the Smoking Gun, Malik unlawfully, intentionally, and publicly exposed a sex organ in the presence of another person who hasn't consented to seeing all that. In Malik's case, those included 6 people, plus the police.
I like this. It's not actually illegal to fuck a car. It's just against the law to do it in broad daylight for other people to see.
In some countries, mechanophilia can land you in prison or in a sex offender registry. In 2007, a man in Scotland was caught by hostel workers while trying to hump his bike. But here in the USA, it is not actually illegal to fuck a car. It's just against the law to do it in broad daylight. A Washington state man claims to have had sex with 1,000 cars.
That slut.
He was in a serious relationship with a Volkswagen.
Oh my
God. That's some German engineering right there. They even get a spot to fit your dick in.
So hot.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Then there's this person who wants to fuck Lightning McQueen from Cars, which begs the eternal question: Do the cars and cars fuck?
Oh my God. I can't even, there's so many things going through my head right now. Could you imagine being the police officer? Hold on. For one, someone calls and they tell you this and you're like, okay, now I have to dispatch this.
Beg your pardon?
Huh. Okay. So we're going to dispatch this. Okay, cool. Send the cop out. And then the cop goes there and to actually see that, I think I'd just be standing there. I think I'd probably take a picture. I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, what the fuck? But there's a lot more people like this, apparently. Like this.
Car fucker.
What?
Oh, I was saying, hey, car fucker.
Oh, yeah. Apparently there's a lot more people like the Eiffel Tower lady than I had thought. But see, what I find really strange, though, or not strange, but where my issue is okay, so clearly these people have some sort of mental disorder that's making them this way. Like there's something just not firing properly. Okay, that I can understand, and that I can, I have understanding for that. But the people who actually entertain this and would allow somebody to make a spectacle of themselves, like marrying the Eiffel Tower, to me, that I'm not okay with. Like you're entertaining a mental disorder, and you're saying that it's okay. Like it's just that to me is taking it to the next level that I'm not okay with. I mean, yeah.
It is absolutely, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not trying to make fun of them, but it's like, what the, what, I don't know.
Yes, to anybody who might get offended, Yeah, I'm not making fun of these people because, like I said, there's clearly some sort of mental disorder there. That's something that they cannot help. I'm no way, shape, or form making fun of them. I'm literally just in my head envisioning walking outside and seeing somebody doing this, and like the thought process that would go through my head would not be like, "Oh, they're not okay." Like I just.
But but if I guess if you're screwing a car, is that like rape?
Did they consent? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's like the whole thing of like an unconscious person can't consent. So
Oh my
what if it's like
god.
a Tesla? What if it's like a Tesla and says, "Oh, please don't do that"?
I don't even know. This is.
Like, oh God, it'd be the charging port. Oh, he'd suck his dick.
Oh, ow.
I assume there's some kind of like safety feature because I'm sure some dumbass would try to do it.
My face hurts. I don't think I've laughed this hard in a long time. Oh my god.
See, but I guess it's kind of like like there's a I think it was was it Blair White that I was listening to, and she was saying like I guess like this whole kind of like trans movement is not only are they kind of being encouraged, but it's almost becoming I wouldn't say like it's not like it shouldn't be socially acceptable. Like I think you should be whoever you want to be, but gender dysmorphia or gender dysphoria. I'm sorry, I always get the dysphoria.
It's dysphoria. Yeah.
Okay, so gender dysphoria is a real mental condition, and you should look at trying to help these people. Like if someone's sticking their dick in a toaster, probably, hey, I get it. It's nice and shiny. That Black and Decker, they make some good quality stuff, but you're gonna get cum on your toast.
Yeah. It could be nice and warm too after you just made some toast, but.
But like I guess just kind of just openly just, yeah, you know what? We totally accept and we encourage it. Okay, I guess. Like I said, there's some people, hey man, more power to you. If that makes you happy, then, as long as you're not hurting anyone. I guess, I don't know, with AI, at what point? See, because there's those sex dolls. What happens when they actually have, like, consciousness?
I don't know. I don't know. I have to keep muting myself. I totally snorted there. I was laughing so hard. I mean, but see, that's the thing though, is if people have these disorders and stuff like that, that's not the issue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has their own thing going on, but the fact that people are too afraid to offend anybody or anything, or even like stand up and be like, no, you have an issue. I can understand you. I can understand where you're coming from and try and understand what it is that you're going through. But to openly allow certain behaviors or encourage certain behaviors because nobody wants to offend anybody, and you're literally allowing these mental disorders to go untreated. You're not trying to help them in the slightest. You think you're trying to help them, but you're not. You're literally like, I can't even get into the whole fact that they allow children to do sex changes and stuff like that. Like I can't even get into that because that'll take me on one hell of a rant. But they're entertaining it. They're not trying to help anybody. And by entertaining it and not trying to understand and help somebody is not helping. It's really not helping. Like you're literally like taking this. Okay, we'll just talk about like your article here. So the woman who decided to marry the Eiffel Tower, clearly mental disorder there. You're literally parading them around, making a spectacle of them. That's like having a handicapped person next to you and parading them around for people and making a spectacle of them. Like, you're humiliating this person. Like, this person might be thinking, oh, that's so great. Like, they're allowing me to marry the Eiffel Tower and this and that. And because they have this real deep connection with it because of a mental disorder. But you're parading them around. It's actually kind of disgusting and really rude.
Well, yeah, I guess it's like the bearded lady or the midget or, come see this freak.
Yeah, and by people thinking it's just being disguised as we're trying to let them be them and be helpful and whatever. You're not. You're absolutely not. You're turning it into a freak show.
Yeah, it's so... I don't know. Oh, this world. This world.
It's right. I think there's so many things that you hear about that, like when you hear about people who like they have that craving to eat like metal or paper or I don't know. There's so many different things out there, like mental disorders that people have that you just kind of you hear it and you just kind of like a dog tilting their head, like, huh? Like, this is a thing.
Yeah.
And it just is sometimes it's laughable just in the
absurdity.
Yes. Like, it's like, I can't believe this person has to live like this. Like, it's sad. But it just sounds so far out there. Like, this can't be real.
Yeah, I don't, like, yeah, it's just so... I don't know, yeah. I guess that's... I don't know, is that just a thing? Like, I personally, I can't say I've ever been a check out this thing. I'm gonna, I see it and I just, yeah.
How my mind normally works is, damn, that thing is sexy. I would like to do it on it, not to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The hood of a 1968 Charger. Yeah. That'd be hot.
Yeah.
But not to a tailpipe.
Yeah, no. Get all sooty and... I don't know, but it's not even like it has a... It's not even like it has a hood ornament. At least like a Rolls Royce, you could, ride it.
Well, I mean, I guess for my sake, there's always the gear shift, but nah, yeah, definitely not where my mind would go.
Gross.
So hot.
No.
Sorry, I can't do anything tonight. I'm going out on a date with my car.
Yeah. I'm taking it to dinner. I'm going to Super Lube or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Gonna get it all
lubed up.
We're gonna get we're gonna get all prettied up and
yeah. So a car wash.
Yeah.
A wax job.
And we're gonna go find some washboard roads and just let the night take us from there. There was actually one time I was with a chick, and obviously this was very, very long ago.
You made it sound like you were like so old, so long ago.
Oh, it was what, maybe like 18 or 19?
Yeah, that is a really long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, I don't know, we were driving, and I remember we were trying to find the Headingley jail. I don't know why, but I was stupid. I didn't know where it was. I just wanted to impress this chick. I don't know why that was my tactic, but, whatever. It worked. Somehow it worked. But when we were driving, I was trying to get turned around on this dirt road. And I ended up backing up, and then, like the dirt road, and then the ditches are down on the sides. And somehow I backed up, I was backing up and I went right into the ditch. And it kind of killed that night, but, like I said, it worked. So, maybe cars just do that certain something. Maybe just like this chimpanzee, the one with the gummy worm balls.
See, and the funny thing is, like, sorry, that picture, they're so pretty. Like, it sounds really disturbing that I'm saying that about the junk, but 100%. They're such a pretty blue. Like, you can't help but, like, stare at it. You're like, wow, that is really pretty. I wish yours looked like that. I'm not going to lie.
I wish mine looked like that.
Right? No wonder it's just out there. It's like, check this out, ladies. Damn.
Yeah, I just, what the? I don't know. All right. I think we've talked enough about chicks fucking Eiffel Towers, dude fucking cars, and
relationships with monkeys. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode. You know where to find us. All the same places listed in the description below. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, even if it's just a smiley face. Help us out. And we'll see you in a few days. Have a great weekend, everybody, and happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. Have a good night. Remember, God loves you.
Yeah, what he said. So do cars and monkeys. Okay, bye.